Hi there, it's Old Woman in the 21st Century, and today Old Man and I are going to go for a easy but fun quad ride on the roads north of Lake Pleasant Regional Park in Maricopa County, Arizona. We parked in a small staging area on North Castle Hot Springs Road, right before the entrance to the park, the north entrance to the park. And we're going to head out on Castle Hot Springs Road going north. As we come to a high point on Castle Hot Springs Road, we can get a glimpse of Lake Pleasant. This is about as close as we're going to get to the lake on this road. But we can see it off in the distance, and to the left we can see some more trails and see off into the mountains and the beautiful desert scenery surrounding the area. You'll notice now on the right side of the road, all the pipe fencing that's been put up here. This was put up in 2020, and it's closed off a lot of the trails that went into the north section of the lake. I know they probably had two reasons for doing it. One, they wanted to make sure they got their fee, and the other one, they wanted to protect the environment because it was getting pretty torn up. Even here, as we cross over this causeway, you'll notice this gate they have. We used to be allowed to go ride down in there when there was no water. Oh, look, there's some burros feeding off in the distance there on the grass. Here's a picture of one year when there was water there and people could fish and things. But this is a very dry year, so there is no water, but we still can't ride down there. Here's a little glimpse from 2016 when we were able to drive down and go through these tunnels. It was really a lot of fun. But again, I understand because not everyone takes care of the park and the surrounding area. I do understand why they closed it off. So we're back on Castle Hot Springs Road and we're coming to an intersection here. This is the intersection of what we thought was Cow Creek Road and Castle Hot Springs. If you stay straight, you continue on Castle Hot Springs, but we're going to make a right. And we noticed this new signpost here. And the sign named the road French Creek Road. So who knew? Google Maps still calls it Cow Creek. You can still see here more fencing. This used to be a little staging area. Again, the park has closed that off. Can't stage there anymore. And again, I do understand the impact on the environment. But here, a little bit further down the road, is the BLM staging area. You can park here. There is no charge for either day use or camping. And this is a weekday afternoon, so there wasn't too many campers out there and not very many ATV riders either. Here to the right are a couple of trails that used to lead to the north side of Lake Pleasant. We haven't been up those trails in about 8 or 9 years, so I don't know if they have been gated off at some point and you can no longer access the north side of the lake. We'll have to come back and explore that one day. Right now, we're going to just continue north on Cow Creek/French Creek Road and see what adventure awaits up here around the bend. The desert's just so beautiful, very dry, but still beautiful. Well, we certainly weren't expecting to see this when we started out on our ride. I'm not sure what happened to this vehicle or why it's still there. Just a mystery. There's always something to see. Here's a little view of our back trail. You can see we were kicking up some dust, and off in the distance, right, looks like at the base of the mountains, you can see some water. That's the lake. There's a pretty steep drop off here on the left side of the road. That's why I prefer to ride Cow Creek slash French Creek Road going north so that we're on the right side of the road and not in danger of slipping off down the side of the cliff there. It is quite a steep drop.
Oh my gosh, there's burrows. They're in a pen. There's two burrows in a pen. That's strange. I've never seen them. Well, I hope they're okay. I hope somebody's taking care of them.
That was really strange to see those two burrows in, it looked like a pen. We didn't really stop to investigate. But old man said he saw that they had hay and water in there. So hopefully someone's taking care of them. Although I'm not sure anyone lives close to this area. Over to the left, we're passing by a couple of abandoned houses, abandoned properties. They've been abandoned since we've been riding out here for the last 10, 11 years. And we think that's a little swimming pool there. It might have been at one time a swimming pool, but it's just interesting to imagine who lived out here and why did they abandon these houses and why hasn't someone bought them and restored them or torn them down and uh, built something else. Something there is for sale. I don't know whether it's the property with the houses on them or not. This is a pretty area, though, of Cow Creek, French Creek Road. And over here on the right, this is sometimes a wash that's filled with water. On the rainy years we've passed, and there's been a little stream running through it. Really, really pretty. Keeps it nice and green. You can see there is a little bit water left, but not much. It hasn't rained yet. This section of Cow Creek Road from the abandoned houses up here through these cliffs and rock formations is one of my favorite parts of this road. It seems to be very scenic. You've got the trees and the rock formations, cliffs. It's just really pretty here.
Baby, oh my goodness. What a sweet baby. Can you see him there under the tree? Oh, he's with his mama. Here, go more to the left. I don't want to get kicked. Hi, Brighty. Oh, sweeties. How cute. Lots of burrows.
Okay, here's the intersection of Champie Road,
Which will take you back over to Castle Hot Springs. Oh yeah, that's all gone. Here's the sign.
Yes, that's Cow Creek Road.
Yep, Cow Creek Road.
They haven't changed that yet.
Nope. So if you keep going straight, you go to the turnoff for Crown King. And go to the left here, you go to back to Castle Hot Springs. So we're gonna go left.
Champie Road.
Champie Road.
Champie Road takes us up into the hills with lots of twists and turns and dips and lots of ups and downs. But most of the property on either side of the road is private property, so there's really no place to stop and rest or enjoy the scenery. You just have to kind of drive through. Here's my favorite spot on Champie Road. It's the part where a little stream crosses the road here. And right now it's pretty dry, but and you can't stop because it is private property. We just kind of slow down and look and take some photos. And it even looks like some of the leaves are changing on the trees. Here's a little inset picture of what it looks like when there's water running. It's just so beautiful. You can hear the water running over the rocks. And it was just fun that day when we had to cross through the water. We're coming up to the end of Champie Road. We're going to intersect with Castle Hot Springs, and there's this little wash here that runs across the road. It's dry now, but I've done some inset pictures of a year when we were riding out here and the wash was running. So you can see what it looks like with water. A whole lot prettier with the water running through it, and way more fun to drive through.
We're going to hang out here for a couple minutes at the intersection of Champie and Castle Hot Springs and have a couple sandwiches and get some water and probably a candy bar too. There's Champie Road. That's the way we came. Here's the little intersection. This road right here is Castle Hot Springs Road. And if you continue that way, you can go all the way to Morristown, Arizona, and eventually end up on Highway US 60. That's a fun ride too. We've done that plenty of times. Maybe next month we can come out and do it again and I can film it. Here is the intersection. Morristown, 21 miles. Lake Pleasant, 10 miles. So basically 10 miles back to the staging area on Castle Hot Springs Road. Well, we're going to get back on the quad in a couple minutes. There's cattle guard. Be careful going over those. But if you're really quiet, you can hear it. Listen. That's absolute quiet. No traffic noise, no music, no nothing. Just quiet.
This is one of my favorite spots along Castle Hot Springs Road. The road narrows here, and it's bounded by a old stone wall on the right here and some pipe fencing on the left, which is much newer. And there is a lot of trees lining the road on the right behind the stone wall, a lot of scraggly mesquite. And then there is a whole row of palm trees here. And hidden to the left is this really, really old building. I'm not sure what it was. Kind of looked like it might have been a garage and a gas station at one time, but I don't know. I haven't been able to find out any information on it. It is for sale right now, but it's just a really neat place. You don't expect to see it. In the past, those palm trees were so overgrown. I always worried when we rode in the warmer weather about beehives being up there. But whoever currently owns the land has cleaned things up a little bit. And over here, there was this old barn that someone began to renovate. They put some siding on it. They fenced it off, put some siding on, but kind of stopped the process over the last couple years. They haven't moved any further on it. And both properties are up for sale now. So I don't know. Be kind of a cool place to own if you ask me. If anyone knows the history on this property, put it down in the comments. I'd be really interested to find out what the story is of this place. This is Castle Hot Springs Resort, an oasis out here in the Arizona desert. About 10 years ago, when we first started riding out this way. It was abandoned and looking pretty sad and dilapidated. But someone came in and bought it and decided to revitalize it. It had been a regular resort, I think back in the 1930s, and stayed active for a while until 1976 when it closed down. But they've made so many beautiful improvements, and you can look it up online, but it's not for your average person. I think the rooms and the cottages run about $1,200 a night, but they've made it a beautiful, beautiful oasis. Lots of green grass behind that wall, and all kinds of amenities. But it's really unexpected to see something like this right out in the desert. We're on the home stretch now, driving south on Castle Hot Springs Road. Off in the distance there, you could see Cow Creek, French Creek Road there winding off back up into the hills. We're going to come up on the intersection where we turned on French Creek Road, and we'll have made a complete loop. Here's our intersection. We rode French Creek up to Champie, Champie back to Castle Hot Springs, and now Castle Hot Springs heading back to our staging area. We get a last glimpse of the lake. I hope you enjoyed this easy but fun ride through some of the roads north of Lake Pleasant Regional Park. And remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, leave that place better than the way you found it.